Hello and welcome to Daily News in AI Agents. I'm your host, Alex.
And I'm Jordan. It's great to be back with you, Alex. We've got a lot to unpack today, from corporate ambitions reaching for the stars to some very down to earth legal and economic challenges.
That's right, Jordan. And we're kicking off with one of the biggest names in tech making a very big claim. Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, has announced it's creating a new AI lab with the explicit goal of building superintelligence.
Superintelligence. That's a term you usually hear in science fiction, not in a corporate press release. What are the details here? Is this just a branding exercise, or is there real substance behind it?
Well, Mark Zuckerberg seems to be taking it very seriously. He's merging the company's two major AI research groups, Fundamental AI Research and Gen AI, into one unit. The goal is to build artificial general intelligence, or AGI, and he believes it needs to be developed openly and responsibly.
It's a fascinating move. On one hand, you have this incredibly ambitious, almost philosophical goal. On the other, you have to wonder about the resources involved. This is a massive investment and signals that the race for AGI is heating up dramatically among the big tech players.
Exactly. But while Meta is reaching for superintelligence, other major AI players are getting tangled in some very human problems, lawsuits. It seems like the legal battles are finally starting to catch up with the pace of development.
I saw that Anthropic, the company behind the Claude chatbot, is facing a couple of major challenges, right?
That's correct. First, a group of artists, along with giants like Disney and Universal, have sued an AI firm for copyright infringement, and it looks like Anthropic and Midjourney are caught up in that wider legal net. And separately, Reddit is reportedly suing Anthropic, alleging that the company hasn't paid for using its content as training data.
That's a huge deal. The Reddit lawsuit, in particular, gets to the heart of the debate we've been tracking for months. What is the value of the data that these large language models are built on? If companies like Reddit can successfully argue their data requires payment, it could fundamentally change the economics of building AI models.
It really could. It's this classic tech story, build fast and ask for forgiveness later. But now, the asking for forgiveness part is happening in a courtroom with billions of dollars on the line.
And it shows the tension. You need massive amounts of data for superintelligence, but you might have to pay for it or prove you have the right to use it. The two goals are starting to conflict.
That's a great point. And speaking of data, let's pivot from the courtroom to the consumer. Here on Daily News and AI Agents, we love to see how AI is being applied in the real world, and we've got a great example from the world of fintech.
Okay, let's hear it. A bit of good news.
A company called Card is using Databricks AI function to power personalized rewards programs. Instead of just seeing a transaction labeled grocery store, their system can analyze the specific items someone buys.
That's interesting. So it's moving beyond simple categorization to actual understanding.
Exactly. The article says they're going from labels to loyalty. By understanding what people actually buy, they can offer highly personalized rewards that are much more likely to be used, which in turn builds customer loyalty. It's a smart, practical application of AI that directly benefits the consumer and the business.
That makes a lot of sense. It's not about some far off goal of AGI, it's about using AI to solve a clear business problem today. Better data leads to better rewards, as they say.
Right. And for our listeners who are developers or data scientists, it's worth noting that the data and AI community is buzzing. Databricks is a platinum sponsor for the big SIGMOD conference in Berlin next year, and ODSC West is happening this October in San Francisco.
And I saw that Mostly AI has launched a $100,000 synthetic data challenge. They're looking for innovators who can generate accurate, privacy safe synthetic data sets. It shows a huge focus in the industry on not just getting more data, but getting better, safer, and more useful data.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that progress isn't just about the size of the model, but the quality of the data and the cleverness of the application.
So, we have this incredible innovation happening in the AI space, Alex. But one thing that's becoming clearer is that none of this happens in a vacuum. The broader political and economic climate is having a huge and sometimes unpredictable impact.
You are so right, and our sources this week really highlight that. We're seeing a flood of articles about how political policies are creating serious business risks. For instance, some companies are now formally warning the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, that the prospect of mass deportations poses a significant threat to their operations and workforce stability.
That's a major step to put that in an official filing. It's not just a political stance, it's a documented financial risk. The article mentions that since Trump took office, ICE arrests have more than doubled, and businesses across the economy are worried about losing essential workers.
And it's not just about labor. Trade policy is another huge area of uncertainty. We're seeing e-commerce platforms like eBay and Vestiaire Collective arguing that Trump's tariffs shouldn't apply to second-hand items. Their logic is that they are giving products a new life, not importing new goods.
It's an interesting angle. At the same time, another report states that complaints about tariff evasion have jumped 160%. So while some companies are trying to get exemptions, others are trying to find creative, and sometimes illegal, ways to avoid paying the duties altogether.
It creates a really messy and unpredictable environment for businesses to operate in. And it's fascinating how all of these threads can come together in unexpected ways. There was even a story about a coalition of environmentalists and anti-Trump advocates who have organized to hype Tesla's recent stock slide.
Wow, so you have market forces, online activism, and political opposition all converging on one company. What we cover on daily news in AI agents is often focused on the technology, but this is a powerful reminder that the business of tech is deeply entangled with everything else happening in the world.
It really is. It shows that for any company, whether you're building super intelligent AI or selling secondhand clothes, you can't ignore the broader social and political context you're operating in.
Definitely, a turbulent environment creates both risk and, for some, opportunity. It's a complex landscape to navigate.
Well, that just about brings us to the end of our time for today. What a week it's been. We've gone from the race to build godlike AGI to the ground-level reality of lawsuits, tariffs, and political risks.
It's the perfect summary of the state of AI right now. Incredible, futuristic ambition running headfirst into complex, messy human reality.
Couldn't have said it better myself. A huge thank you to all of you for tuning in to Daily News and AI Agents.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back with the latest updates for you next time.